Hi guys, and welcome to Katie's Insight, where I give my insight on all kinds of things, but right now, most importantly, I'm trying to help you guys with the economy, with stimulus, and getting you guys direct help. So I haven't done one of these videos for a while, and it's been a little bit, but I know things are really changing and getting very scary with unemployment. So I want to help you guys with that because I have some tips and tricks personally that I have used, and I know when it comes to getting your benefits. So whether or not you haven't gotten your benefits yet, or if you're in a situation where your benefits are about to run out, because all these programs are about to run out soon, stay tuned for this video. I'm going to help you when it comes to everything with how you need to get your benefits and what you need to do. Hold on, lips is dry. Mwah. Okay, so with that being said, first of all, it's my last new shirt. It's blue and pink and orange, and I love it. I feel like a freaking sunset. Makes me so happy. I love the other ones too, because I have rainbows and Easter eggs and sunshine, and now sunset on the new ones, but that's okay. Spent 10 or 15 bucks on each one, and it's just a little nice thing to do for myself. I rarely do things like this for myself, even though I love clothes. So thank you, boyfriend, who nicely beat me over the head. That sounds horrible. I mean, when I say that, I'm so stubborn about like not wanting to spend money. He was like, just do it. So I'm glad he did, because I love this. Again, I'm feeling myself. And before I begin, guys, I'd love it if you could help me out and give me a big thumbs up, because the more that you do things to help out the channel, the more it grows. I can help more people get more money. So please give me a big thumbs up, subscribe, hit notifications so you can be notified about what's coming down the pipeline with unemployment, stimulus, everything in between. Leave comments. The more comments you leave, the better. And guys, please share this content with anybody you know that's struggling with unemployment or stimulus issues that needs help. I've got tons of tools and tons of resources. And guys, I'm giving away $100 gift cards. And to be entered, that's all you have to do, is just what I said. Like the video, subscribe, hit notifications, comment, share the content. Boom, you're entered, you're eligible. Also, the more comments you leave, the more times you share, the more chances you have to win. If you leave 100 comments, you have 100 times higher chance of winning. So leave those comments. It really helps me build the channel, and it's going to help you possibly get some money from me. Yay, good luck. And if you need more stimulus resources, add me on Facebook, Katie's Insight, like the page, go to the group. The group is Katie's Corner. It'll be changed to Katie's Insight soon, but right now it's Katie's Corner. You can go in there and you can look for, we have tons of different stimulus programs that you can get involved in, and tons of different places where we are showing where you can get you money. We have an awesome moderator. Hi, British Gray. Hey, cuz. She's in there, and every day she's giving out different information on where you can get money for your city and for your state to help you guys. So say a big hello to her. Lots of love in the comments to her, whether it's on Facebook or it's on YouTube. But I wanted to go ahead and let you guys know that so you can get more help, because I just want to help as many people as possible. Okay, on with the video. But let's talk about unemployment for a minute. So as we know, with the CARES Act made it so that from the end of March to the end of July, we had a $600 a week stimulus called the FPUC. We also have several other programs. We have the PUA. The PUA is called Pandemic Unemployment Assistance, or like in my state, they call it the DUA, Disaster Unemployment Assistance. So it might have different acronyms, but that's unemployment insurance that you can get if you are a gig worker, a small business owner, rideshare driver, anything within that category, you can get that. And they tend to draw, when it comes to that, from the FPUC. So most of the time, depending on what happens, you can get that money. They also had more programs for partial unemployment if your hours had been reduced or cut. And they had other programs, like they had two different types of extended benefit programs, as well as several states had gotten to a point where they've extended their unemployment benefits, because when the states get to a certain level of percentage of people being on unemployment, they have their own state unemployment that kicks in, where it gives you extra weeks. Well, because the government cares so much about us, and all these players like Pelosi, Mitch McConnell, and all the others are so concerned with our well-being, these programs are ending, and they're ending fast. They are ending at the end of July. Now, here's the thing. That $600 a week FPUC stimulus, that ended at the end of July, right? That's come and that's gone. Now, what President Trump did, because there was all this fighting and bickering and nobody would get on the same page, and the Democrats didn't want to try to compromise in any way that was going to actually be beneficial, and the Republicans wanted to do nothing, so they're all evil. President Trump stepped up and he signed executive orders to help us. And the executive orders are as following, and there was 4 of them, but the ones that really help us I'll go over. Number 1, he wanted to extend unemployment. So when it comes to that FPUC $600 a week stimulus, so what he did, as many of you know who were on it, they created the LWA, Lost Wage Assistance. And that gave you an extra $300 to $400 a week for between 5 to 6 weeks, depending on your state, that you could tap into. Most of it was $300, some was $400. It was supposed to be $300 from the state plus $100 from the government, but many states said, we don't have that, we didn't budget for this. So they said, okay, you can just do $300. But I think there was 4 states that ended up doing the full $400. So you got that for 5 or 6 weeks. And that went from August until September. And that's come and gone. That is, and it's so funny when I hear, when I say funny, I mean sad and scary for us. When I hear like people from the White House and I hear things where they're like, well, it's about to run out. I'm like, y'all, it ran out weeks, months ago. So that $600 a week stimulus is already gone. And people on unemployment have already been feeling the pinch. I can't even say feeling the pinch. Y'all are barely in your homes right now. The other things that are about to end, aside from unemployment, also have to do with these executive orders. So for instance, President Trump had put out there in the executive orders rent assistance. So he said, we're going to make sure that you guys can't be kicked out of your homes. And that goes to the end of December as well as student loan forgiveness. So student loan issues, they were going to put that on hold until the end of December. Here's the problem. We have about 2-ish weeks for the Congress to be in session before they go on all of their much needed breaks. Because guys, they get months and months off in the year because welcome to our government. So a few things are about to come to a head. All of these programs are about to end. And then there's another big one that's really up in the air. And I'm really curious what they're going to do. I've talked about this a little bit, but I believe it's like December 11th. It's somewhere in the mid-ish, early mid-December. They have to do another stopgap for the government. So they have to do another, what they call a CR, continuing resolution, so that the government can continue to run. And that also means so the people in office can continue to get their bags, where we all suffer homeless without jobs and money. So they all get paid. Well, as we know, and I've been saying this for a while, this stimulus, I keep calling this election the stimulus election, and now politics has just been completely ridiculously intertwined with stimulus. We didn't want this to happen. I don't want this to be the case. I'm just reporting what is. This is how it is for the moment. So unfortunately, as a result of that, here's what's happened. Here's what's transpired as a result of that. Nothing is done. Nothing is done. And now there is a debate, as you guys know, on who's actually won the election. The media has called it for Biden, even though technically they really can't choose a president. And then on top of that, the Electoral College has to pick. And Trump, there's a lot of issues with voter fraud, and Trump is really going after it. And he's got legal teams across the country working on different states. Now, what does that mean? Why am I bringing all this up? What does that mean for unemployment? And what does that mean for stimulus as a whole? Here's the problem. Because we only have a couple weeks left with Congress, and they are nowhere near getting on the same page. I don't think anything will be passed until, I would say, February at the earliest. And that's being conservatively early. And I'll explain why. We only have 2 weeks. And right now the reports are, well, you guys have seen my videos. Nancy Pelosi yesterday and Mitch McConnell are fighting, going at it in the public sphere, which is never a good sign. Pelosi wants too much money and Mitch doesn't want anything at all. I would say this, I would be fine with the amount Pelosi wants if it was actually going to help more of the American people. And then the Republicans don't really want to do much at all because they're evil. Both sides are evil, guys. They're all awful. And once we can get that in our heads, I think we can come to agreements and conclusions and see things from both sides and weigh the information and not just do identity politics where you have to do one or the other. It really drives me nuts, guys. But in relation to all of this, as a result, that means that most likely, unfortunately, they are going to let all of these programs run out at the end of December. Now, January is a big month because January we're going to inaugurate a president. And I'm going to tell you, Trump, I know a lot of people think I'm pro-Trump. I'm not pro-Trump. I'm not anti-Trump. I don't take a side on these. I'm going to weigh the information as just somebody who's trying to give common sense. Love or hate Trump, he is, I keep calling it, he is the forever wild card. What does that mean? Trump says a lot of stuff. There's a lot of vibrato. There's a lot of puffery. There's a lot of exaggeration to lying. And I'm always going to say that. He's a businessman. He's in real estate. That's part of the game. I'm a businesswoman. I understand that. But a lot of times Trump will speak up, say something, and then he'll do it. And sometimes he'll say crazy stuff and then do it. And that's exactly what happened with the last executive orders that have been helping us now, although those executive orders don't go far enough. And there are loopholes, and so that some people are getting evicted, unfortunately, by mass. And bad things are happening because they didn't go far enough. But I think he went as far as he could take it. And the funds he got from, because people were screaming, he can't do this, he can't do these executive orders. As you guys know, even Nancy Pelosi, it's not passable. Well, he found money from FEMA and was able to redirect it. My point is this: Trump is a wild card. And you never know what he's going to do and where he's going to come out from. And I think it's very possible that at the 11th hour, he's going to come back and get some type of court rulings to overturn the election. I'm not saying that because I want it to happen. I'm not saying that because I think it should. I'm telling you, I've watched and I study these players in the government when it comes to stimulus. And this is just the stuff that I'm going to say to you. I think it's a very big possibility. I'm not saying it's going to happen. It's a possibility. So, with that being said, because Trump is a wild card, I doubt anything is going to happen in January. Nothing's going to happen in January because Trump right now, first of all, people have said, well, what if he does executive orders? I doubt it, because Trump's energy right now is going to be completely focused on getting that election overturned. And Biden, is he going to step into office and do anything? Probably not, because let's say he is the one that becomes president. The problem with that is Trump will not let Biden do any type of transition. Typically, they need 2-3 months to do that transitional period so they can hit the ground running in office, and Trump won't let him. So they're going to have a couple months ground to make up. So I'm telling you guys, in terms of executive orders, in terms of anything happening quickly, I don't think it's going to happen. And here's the big important one I talked about, the stopgap, which is going to be on around December 11th. So it was in October that they all came together. Of course, the government all came together to sign something to keep the government going and keep them having their bags. Nancy Pelosi, Mitch McConnell, and so forth. And Trump signed off on it. So that was supposed to go until the middle of December. But here's the problem. Trump being upset about the elections and Trump being the wild card that we all know that he is. This is the issue that we are facing. When he was recently asked, will you sign the stopgap to make sure the government is getting money and to make sure that everybody's getting paid what they can? Trump didn't confirm or deny. And that is very telling. I've said before, you have to listen to what these people say. And you have to listen to what they don't say. I'm talking about the politicians. They're all about spinning a narrative. Listen to when they don't actually answer a question and pivot back to everything they want to say. And they're really great at just pivoting. But also listen to what they don't say. And Trump has also been very telling when somebody asks him a direct question and he just doesn't answer it. Trump typically will give you all the information. You know, he'll a lot of times he'll exaggerate to lying and that sort of thing, but at least you'll get a perspective of exactly what he's thinking and what he's feeling. He might be a PRICK to some people, but he's honest in what's going on with where he's at, which I think a lot of people appreciate it. Not saying it's always great or right, just kind of laying out what is. But with Trump saying he may not be signing that stopgap, that he didn't respond to that at all, he may let the government go without money, and the government may be in shutdown. And I've been screaming for a while, not that I want the regular workers to be hurt, but we're all already hurting, let's be honest. I've said the salaries of the people at the top need to stop. Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer, Mitch McConnell, all of these people, all the senators, all the House of Representatives, stop paying them until they come together and actually fix this. I'm also disgusted that we have Pelosi and McConnell that were both voted back in office. We have 22 senators who have vowed to not do anything to help anybody with stimulus who were voted back into office. My question is, why? It's stuff like this that makes me wonder if Trump's onto something about all this voter fraud. I'm not saying that's the case. I just can't imagine why people would want these people in office when we all know we're hurting and we all know that we need help from no fault of our own. And I'm not saying that because, I'm a big old socialist. In fact, I've lived in countries that do democratic socialism. I've lived in France, and I'm somebody with chronic health issues that has lived in France. The treatment is far superior and far better. You don't go bankrupt from being sick. You don't even pay for medicine. They will have doctors come to your home if you're too sick. They have an amazing system. There are issues with it though. So I'm somebody, I like when people say, because I'm so for stimulus, I'm socialist. I'm like, first of all, we have socialist programs in this country. What do you think social security is? What do you think unemployment? What do you think Medicaid is? Like, I always kind of giggle at that because it's like we, in that regard, we have socialist things in this country. Socialist programs can be great if done right. The problem is they're rarely done right because people are awful. And I will admit to that. That's the hard thing, guys. I just want to be, and I'm getting to my point, I promise, with all this. I want to be a voice that's middle of the road. You have to be one extreme or the other extreme, or on one side or the other side. And I want to be a voice that says, here's the good things on this side, here's the good things on this side, and here's where all of their weaknesses lie. Let's come together and let's see how we can merge everything. And I feel like from there we can actually, be able to change things and make good things happen. Now, I know I just gave a big dissertation, but there is a reason for that. So when it comes to unemployment, where are we at? The problem is, no matter what you're hearing, what anybody says, it is very unlikely you guys are going to get any help for a while. So what do? The last point I want to bring up. Trump had offered Pelosi, he said, let's extend unemployment, let's extend student loan help, let's extend mortgage and rent help into the end of the year. She said no. All of you on unemployment could have had your extra $600 a week FPUC stimulus, and Pelosi said no. So Pelosi, from the kind, tolerant, loving left who's supposed to step up and be the champion of people to help, she is not going to be helping any of us because she's shown in the past she puts politics over helping us. So with that being said, where are we at and what do you need to do? Because I do have a few resources I want to go over. The first thing I want to tell you guys, and I know a lot of you who are in this situation already know this, or if you're just newly getting on unemployment, I want to kind of explain how this works and what this process is. So when it comes to these benefits ending, the first thing you need to know is that I would be patient in the sense of, even if your benefits are ending, if your unemployment systems have any way of allowing you to continue to file for weeks, continue to do so. So you guys know that are unemployment, or if you're new, you're gonna get an earful. When it comes to unemployment, this is how it works. Every week you have to file for that week to get your unemployment benefits. So if you are in one of the categories where you are about to run out of benefits, the PUA is about to end, all of that, here is what I would do. If you have extended benefits that are about to end, do your best to file every single week. Now, if you're on the PUA, this is what I do unless you have other directives from your state. I would continue to file. Now, every state is going to be different. Now, your state, depending on how it works, like for instance, I'll give you an example of Oklahoma. In Oklahoma, we have the Oklahoma Employment Security Commission. We have them, and they have one website for regular unemployment. But then we have the oesc.gov website, and that is for the PUA. So there are two different sites. Now, you typically have to apply for unemployment, the regular unemployment first before the PUA. So if you're on the PUA and it's about to run out, what do you need to do? Here are some suggestions that I would give you. If you are on the PUA unemployment website, or you were in that part of the system, right? Maybe if it's all combined in one website, if there's a different way to apply, take the route of the PUA and keep applying if it lets you. If it does not, then I would start applying for regular unemployment. And I would just go through and I would do every week that you can. That way, when things do actually, when there's another bill, when things do actually get extended, most likely, guys, this is going to be retroactive. This is what I want to tell you. So it's good news, bad news, depending on your situation. If you're in a situation where you are able to wait it out, I would suggest waiting it out. And there's a couple reasons. Here's why. Number one, even though money isn't coming right now, eventually you will get your money because at some point they are going to pass something. The problem is we don't know when. Now, some people are not in that situation that they can wait. Maybe they don't have a partner that has a job or family helping them or, whatever your situation. But if you're in the situation to wait it out, then I would say keep filing because two things are going to happen. When the next bill or the next extension passes, it will most likely be retroactive. So if you've been on these benefits, the whole time, right? Or for a while. So let's say end of July it ran out. So two things are going to happen. You will get whatever back pay you're supposed to get, and it could be several weeks from the time you start now, just continue to file in December until something is passed. Let's entertain, I hope this is not the case, but let's entertain that's a 2-month process. That's 8 weeks of unemployment that drops into your lap. On top of, I'm assuming that $600 a week FPUC stimulus, that is going to be backdated retroactively. Nancy Pelosi has said several times that that's what they want to do. As a result, you may be getting that $600 a week for August, September, October, November, December, January, February. So if you do the math on that, 600, what is that? I don't even know the math on that, but so that's 7, right? 7-ish months, give or take. It could be 8. And that's $600 a week there. That's a good big chunk of money that's going to fall into your lap at some point. The same kind of money that, in my opinion, the hazard workers, the frontline workers should be getting. But again, we just love to use people in America. We are just taught to do that because we are a capitalist business nation. I'm not saying that's a bad thing, but again, middle of the road. You got to have both sides of the spectrum. You can't just be all socialism and all capitalism. It doesn't work that way, which is why we have socialist programs and vice versa. That's why socialism, just socialism, doesn't work in a lot of countries if you just have that. You need both of them. So that's what I wanted to tell you is don't be too upset when it comes to unemployment right now. If you're in a situation where it's going to end, if you can continue on without it for a time, that's what I would do personally in that situation if your benefits are ending. Now, there's a few other things I want you to be aware of and take note of. I want you guys to look up in your states, counties, and cities, your state CARES Act funding for stimulus help. Many states have until the end of the year to spend their CARES Act funding. In fact, I'm about to do a video about this when it comes to the state of Tennessee. So when it comes to the state of Tennessee, which I'm going to go into details with, they are going to be giving out a lot of money to help people in December, and some of that is starting now. So I want you guys to start getting prepared and look up what programs in your state can help. They have, there's a lot of rental assistant programs right now. And there's all different types of programs that you can find for your specific situation. For instance, I believe it was Missouri. They have programs, if you have mental illness issues or addiction issues, they have programs to help pay your rent. And this is all stimulus related. As well, guys, look into lots of different charities. There are a lot of different charity organizations, different churches, Catholic organizations. I'm not promoting Catholicism. I grew up in Catholicism and I don't like it because there's a lot of kitty sniffers and it just gets swept under the rug, you know, like religion is supposed to do. If you are Catholic, I am not knocking on you. I'm just saying I am not trying to promote them. However, they are doing a lot of things behind the scenes to help people with stimulus. Considering what all they've done to kids, they should. Anytime you mess with kids, makes me mad. I think that's just the instinct of all people, right? I'm not talking about the fine people that watch who may adhere or not adhere to those beliefs. I'm talking about the people who are running the situation, allowing that to happen. Please understand it's not an attack on you guys specifically. So that's what I want you guys to do. I want you guys to look around in your cities, counties, states. Those 3 things, the type of searches. You need to do, like, for instance, okay, I'm in Oklahoma. Oklahoma stimulus help. I live in Oklahoma City. Oklahoma City stimulus help. Oklahoma City CARES Act. Oklahoma CARES Act. I'm in Cleveland County. Cleveland County CARES Act. Like, those are the type of searches that you need to be doing to see what programs are available. And go to your government websites. Go to your city government website and go to your state government website. They will have programs on there to help you, because my goal with unemployment to help you guys is, in doing this video, my goal is to try to tell you guys what you have available to you so that you can continue to apply. You can go ahead and get more help now. You can get help in advance. So if it's going to take a month or 2, hopefully you will have enough help between maybe getting rent help or bill help so that you can continue filing those weeks to have that as a buffer to get that money later on. So these are some little tips and tricks I wanted to tell you about, but I would tell you to keep filing, keep filing, keep filing. Now, another thing I want to talk to you guys about is when it comes to jobs, and I would like to do more information on putting information out about jobs to help you guys out. Right now, and many of you probably know this, at-home workers, it's just skyrocketing. And I think after this virus is over, it's going to continue to skyrocket, because over the last 10-ish years, that has been more of a transition that companies are doing, is having people work from home. It saves the companies a ton of money with overhead, with rent of the building, with utilities. There's a ton of money that's saved when it comes to all of that. So look for, if you are in a situation where you are on unemployment and you're like, well, that's great, but I can't do that because I have to blah, blah, blah. If you're looking for jobs quickly, there are just first of all, they are going to be expanding. Like, unemployment offices have been hiring like crazy to help with call center workers. And you can do that from home. There are tons and tons of jobs where you can do call center work from home. In fact, I worked one 10 years ago. I know that's not the same because we're in a different time at the moment, but 10 years ago, I worked at one called Live Ops. I loved it. I could work part-time, make $3 grand a month, and 10 years ago, that was pretty decent money. So, but it's going to be a bit different because that was all about infomercials. So people who would want to buy something from an infomercial, they would call me and they would take their order. But there's going to be all kinds of different things you can do and things from home. Things are transitioning more at home. Call center work is always needing people. So if you need something on the fly, I would look up call center jobs. Obviously go to Indeed.com. LinkedIn is a good one. ZipRecruiter, I found lots of good jobs on ZipRecruiter. I love ZipRecruiter. So those are a few things that you can do when it comes to all of that. Something I do want to warn you guys about, only because I've been through it. If you are on the job hunt, please be aware. Many companies right now, they're trying to stay afloat and can't afford to pay people. You may, it may be that you've heard it from somebody that they've been in this situation during the pandemic. Go check out all my videos about NAA Worldwide, which I have updates for you guys. Apparently, almost everybody just got fired recently. And apparently, almost none of them got paid. Who called it? Who called it? What federal judge ruled in my favor? We'll get into that. I have more stuff coming, guys. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about, if you're new to this, what I'm talking about is I worked for a company, long story short, and they didn't pay me and they took me to federal court. So I won, nice, which I'm happy about. I did win, but anyways, go check out those videos. I have videos detailing the situation. But be very careful because I want you guys to understand that it's technically not illegal in the way you would think it is to just not pay people. It ends up becoming a labor dispute. So it's something you take up with the labor boards and you can sue for it in small claims court. So there are going to be some shady companies who will hire you and they'll give you X, Y, and Z and they'll talk things up. But then at the end of the day, they will end up not paying you and you will have been used for your work. If you start to see signs of people being shady when it comes to paying you, please take note. And this is the hard part. I understand all businesses are struggling right now, but at the same time, don't let a place take advantage of you. Take it from somebody who knows. I feel like big glaring lights are coming off of me on that. But yeah, that's what I would tell you guys to do. Or if you're on partial unemployment, keep applying. And apply however you can. If you were on the PUA for partial unemployment or whatever, right? And then all of a sudden it's like, well, the program's over, you can't apply. Go to regular unemployment. Make a new claim. Keep filing. That way at least you have record. Look, I kept trying. So that way, if everything is retroactive in this situation, you can get the help you need. Now you may be asking, why am I so big on trying to get people so much money? Shouldn't they just get back to work and blah, blah, blah? Well, first of all, until we have things in place, working conditions aren't really safe for most people who are going out there. And frontline workers don't get any more money for risking their lives to help us. That's the truth. I am also a very firm believer in the biggest form of inequality we have on this planet as a whole is financial lack of resources and keeping people in poverty, period. I've been saying for a while that my opinion is if you want to fix things in this country with minorities, we have to get everybody on an on an even financial playing field. However, things are so bad that across the board, not just minorities, but everybody, including Caucasians, are going through it. And a lot of people in my generation have been going through it the whole time, and now some of the boomers and some of the older people are starting to feel it because this is affecting everybody. That's not to say minorities haven't had a worse hand, obviously, in what they are given and what they are born into, right? Depending on the situation. We need to make things fair and we need to get people out of poverty. And what makes me so mad is that we have the technology. We have the resources. We have the know-how to do this. The government just keeps all of this from us because to keep us in this state keeps us as slaves to them. And that's what it's all about. These are all forms and different levels and caste systems of modern day slavery, in my opinion. So I am absolutely happy to help you guys find loopholes to help you get out of the poverty you've been placed in that many times is by no fault of your own. Now, sometimes it is. If you're going to go screw up your own life, that's on you, right? But even still, it's hard for a lot of people. I have now lost everything and had to declare bankruptcy twice in my life for mystery illness. Does that mean I'm a horrible, irresponsible person? No. It means that we have a country that doesn't work. I love this country. I am pro-America in this sense. I am all about making things work, but we also have to be honest and realistic. We can't just be blindly gung-ho about something, right? So that's why I'm happy to try to help you guys in every which way I can. Find whatever money you can while we're going through this, which is why I'm happy to give you this advice. Another thing I want to point out, and I'm going to do another video on this, but this is about helping you get your unemployment benefits fast, okay? When it comes to unemployment benefits, There are still tons and tons of people waiting. You guys have heard my story. I tried to get on unemployment when my company stopped paying me, and I had to go through the ringer. That was in March. It is now November. I finally have an appointment to sit down and see somebody. And that's going to be at the end of November to see what can be done in my situation, just to kind of give you guys a heads up on that. So with unemployment, there are several things I want you guys to be aware of. The problem is many state offices, city offices are closed for unemployment. Now, a couple things. They have worked really hard. I give the unemployment people a lot of props. I know this is frustrating, but guys, understand. Unemployment, they're given nothing. In my state of Oklahoma, they are working on unemployment. The unemployment people are working from computers from the 1970s. That is not a joke. That is not an exaggeration. You can look this up. This is all fact. When I say it's a shoestring budget, it's the string of a shoestring. It's nothing. So what they've been able to do with very little funding, I think is fantastic. I applaud all of the unemployment workers. If you come across an unemployment worker, give them a virtual or verbal, not physical hug and tell them thank you for their service and thank you for their help. There are a few things I want to point out if you are still trying to get your benefits, what you can do in this situation. Number one, check all around your state to see which offices are open, because some are not going to be open. Maybe all of them aren't open, but some might be. And if they are open, they might have ways for you to be able to get in and get an appointment with somebody. The problem is their systems are so sensitive, like half the people they'll just flag as fraud, and then it's a nightmare of a situation to get out of. So make sure and really see what offices are open. Number two, if you have offices that are open, call and ask what the process is to be able to get your unemployment, depending on, and again, it's going to depend on how long you've waited in the situation, but they should have something set in place. So for instance, forever, we had our offices closed. It was only by phone, and the operators could only do so much. They were hiring all these people and trying to put things into place. They had a ticket system that nobody ever got back to you. Nothing ever really worked in the situation. But now, you can actually, for a while, you could call and make a phone appointment. You could just call and make a phone appointment, which was great. Now you actually have to go in to the office that is open and you have to get an appointment when you walk in. I did this the other day. I walked in, I spoke to somebody who was really nice. They wrote, and they had it ready to go. They literally had a pad of paper and with all these dates and times, gave it to me, come back at this date and time. I was floored. I had called before and asked, I said, okay, is there a big wait? And I was told the wait can be between 1 hour to 4 hours just to get the appointment. But when I walked in that day, I walked in and out. There was no line. It was fantastic. So the longer things have gone on, the easier it is to be able to get your unemployment benefits. It's going to all depend on which one of your offices is open and actually taking calls. Now, this is something else they want to point out. When it comes to unemployment, there is a difference between the 1-800 number or the state number versus the unemployment office number. So you want to call both. Now, if you're trying to call the unemployment just regular hotline, right? If you're just trying to call that, you need to be aware Monday and Tuesdays are the worst days to call. And if you do call, you're probably still going to be waiting a few hours sometimes. What I would do is just to give you guys some tips and tricks on this. Call absolutely soon as they open. That's when you should be on the phone. Now, don't do what I've done though. So if your unemployment office opens at 8, literally once the clock hits 8, that's when you call. Don't do it 5 minutes sooner, because with unemployment, a lot of times you have to go through 5 or 10 minutes of automated messages. I thought I could beat it that way. Let me call 5 or 10 minutes early. Nope, they kick you out. The timer starts from when it receives the phone call. So call directly when they open, but be prepared. You could be waiting anywhere from, I would say, 30 minutes to 3.5 hours, depending on the situation. If you are calling the office, depending on how busy they are, it's hit or miss if they will even answer. Keep calling, keep trying. Or if one of the offices is open and you can't get through, if you're on unemployment, you don't have much to do anyway. So I would just, if you have the resources, if you're in the position, go to the unemployment office, walk in and see if you can get somebody to help you. So those are a few other things that you can do. Some places are taking virtual calls over the phone. Some are taking appointments. Some are taking walk-in appointments. Some are doing what my state's doing. It all varies by what your state is. Now in my state, for a while, they were doing this, and I thought it's fantastic and scary what my state was doing. They were holding these big unemployment processing claims events. and they would have tens of thousands of people that show up and they would do their best to socially distance, and you would be waiting in a line all day to speak to an unemployment specialist to get your claim processed. But if everything went through, you could get your benefits that day, that you could get your card and be on your way. But all of those people congregated in one place during this situation is very scary. But your state may be having some type of benefit programs like that where they are doing big events. I don't think we're doing them as much anymore, but I think they're also getting caught up now. So I would check in your state, in your city, to see what's going on. Again, check by city and check by state. You want to see where all of the different offices are in those areas to see what it is that you need to do. Okay, guys, that is my comprehensive overview right now on what you need to do if your unemployment benefits are ending, some resources to be able to help you through that difficult time, and how you can get your benefits faster. I'm going to have a more comprehensive video on being able to get your benefits very, very fast. So stay tuned, because I'll put more information in that. If you are trying to still get benefits in, you can't. But I wanted to do a video about what to do if your benefits are running out. One other thing I want to point out, sorry, I know I was about to end this. If you are going to have benefits that run out because they were extended benefits, see what your state provides. Talk to your unemployment people, look it up and see if you can tap into your state having extra weeks to be able to tap onto, because there's 3 different types of extensions right now. There's 2 from the federal government, and then your state probably will have extensions. See what your state offers, see if you can get extra unemployment benefit weeks from that. And that, again, can still tie you over, because I just want to help as many people get as much money as they possibly can in this country so we can all be in an even playing field financially. That is one of my goals, I feel like, in being alive, is to help tip the scales in that and make things as fair as possible. Okay, guys, if you like this video, if you found it informative, please help me out and give me a big thumbs up, like the video, subscribe, hit notifications so you can be notified what's coming to the pipeline for you and your stimulus money, elections, politics, everything in between. Also, guys, share this content with people that you know this could help. People who are on unemployment, waiting for unemployment benefits, or their unemployment benefits are running out, SBA loan and grant issues, stimulus checks, bill issues. I have tons of tools and resources to help you guys through this difficult time, and I would love nothing more than to be able to continue to help you. And guys, the more you like, subscribe, comment, hit notifications, and share my content, the more my channel grows. The more my channel grows, the more I can do for you. So for instance, I'm giving away $100 gift cards. Very simple to be eligible. This is all you have to do. Like every video you see, subscribe, hit notifications, comment, share the content, boom, you're eligible, you're entered. Now, if you share this content more than once, and the more comments you leave, the more chance you have of winning. If you leave 100 comments, you have 100 times more chance of winning a gift card. So yay, good luck. I want everybody to win, but I need to be rich to do that. So I hope I get rich and I can just give money back to everybody. Okay, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video. I always end these by saying, I'm so blessed, I'm so grateful, and I'm so humble that you guys have allowed me the opportunity to do this. Every time I end these videos, I thank you so much for allowing me in your hearts, in your homes, in your heads, in your ears to give you this information. You guys have been life-changing to me, and I will do my best to work for that. Also, if you want more stimulus tips, tricks, and where you can find money, go to my Facebook page and my group. My Facebook page is Katie's Insight, like the page, join the group. The group is Katie's Corner, will be changed to Katie's Insight soon. Go there, and when you go there, there's tons and tons of stimulus resources. In fact, our moderator, hey British Gray, we love her so much. Every day she is giving out different information across the country on where you can get stimulus benefits. So go there and refer people there if they need help. Okay guys, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you for changing my life. I will do my best to be a blessing to all of you. Take care, sending you lots of loves and hugs, and I will see you soon. We're gonna get through this, guys, and I'm gonna do everything I can to help you. Mwah! Bye guys.